Okay, my name is Muhammad Lukman Raji with ID number A12122 112. So I want to explain about the definition of pragmatics. So the pragmatics is a central branch of linguistics that shift our focus from the literary meaning of words and sentence to how meaning is constructed and interpreted in context. So pragmatics is not about it's not about literary meaning. For example, semantics is about literary meaning, but in pragmatics, it's not. In pragmatics, we look at in the context. So we must to look at in the context if we want to know what is the meaning of the clause or of the sentence that the person give. For example, it's quote in here. It's in the literal meaning. We can say in this space is quote, but in the pragmatics, it's not quote, but maybe have the someone that very cool that the passengers say there is a man or the woman the cool person. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Herdiansyah Ajimeira with ID number A12122 Okay, I wanna continue the material about concept in pragmatics. So, what is concept in pragmatics? Concept in pragmatics refers to the fundamental theoretical construct that form the foundation for understanding how meaning is created, interpreted, and negotiated in real-world communication context. These concepts serve as analytical tools that help explain the complex relationship between language, form, and communicative function, going beyond the literal meaning of words to explore speakers and hearers collaborate in meaning-making process. So um, the next is several five components from concept in pragmatics. The first is context. Context represents the fundamental concept in pragmatics that encompasses all background information influencing and interpretation and production of meaning in communication. Context function as a referential framework that enables speakers and listeners to understand the actual intent behind an utterance, transcending the literal meaning of the words used. The next is situational context. Situational context refers to the physical and temporal conditions in which communication takes place, including time, place, circumstances, and concert situation surrounding the speech event. This aspect encompasses physical settings such as configuration, location, timing of communication, environmental condition, and specific circumstances occurring during the interaction. The next is social context. Social context pertains to social relationship, status, roles, and identities of communication participants, as well as social norms prevailing within specific communities. This dimension includes aspects such as a social hierarchy, level, level of familiarity between speakers and hearers, social rules of each participant, and social expectation attached to their identities. So the next is linguistic context. Linguistic context refers to the language based on base context consisting of linguistic elements that precede and follow an utterance within the source or conversation. This context includes the source structure, textual cohesion, and coherence. In intersense, intersense, intersensial intersensial relationship and linguistic patterns that influence meaning interpretation. And the last about cultural context. Cultural context encompasses values, beliefs, norms, traditional and meanings system prevalent within particular cultures that influence how communication is understood and conducted. This aspect includes cultural worldviews, value system, collective thought patterns, communication traditions, and cultural assumptions shared by community. Humor, use of metaphors, politeness, strategies, and ways of expressing emotion or attitudes. Thank you. I think that's all my explanation. The next material will continue by my friend.
Right. Okay, the next material is about the importance of context in pragmatics. In pragmatics, context is crucial because it allows you to understand what the speaker really means by the literal meaning of words. Language use is not just about the grammar or vocabulary. It is about how meaning is contracted and interpreted in real life situation. And so below are four key roles in the context placed in pragmatics. The first is meaning assignment. Meaning assignment is the process of interpreting the intended meaning of an utterance depending on the context in which it is used. And for example, utterance it is called in here. And the second is speech act interpretation. Speech act refers to what the speaker intends to do with a utterance. For example, making a request, giving a comment, making a promise, or asking question. The form of the sentence alone is not always about context. Help you identify the true intention. Example utterance: can you pass the salt? And the third is applicature derivation. Applicature is an additional meaning that is suggested or implied by the speaker but not directly stated. The listener must use the context and shared knowledge to derive this hidden meaning. And for example, like utterance, some of the students pass the exam. And then the last point is or four, reference resolution. Reference resolution is the process of figuring out what or who a speaker is referring to with pronouns or figure expressions like the he, that, it, or there. To do this, we rely heavily on the context. And for example, utterance, he said it was urgent. I think that's all I can explain this material. The next will be continued by my friends. Thank you very much.
So I will explain about pragmatics in language analysis. Pragmatics is indispensable for a comprehensive analysis of language. It complements semantics by providing a framework for understanding the full riches and complexity of linguistic communications. Pragmatics analysis is crucial in various fields. The first is communication studies. Pragmatics help us understand how people communicate effectively, how misunderstanding arise, and how to improve communication strategies. And the second is translations. Translator need to consider not only the literal meaning of the words, but also the pragmatics implication of the utterance in different cultural contexts. And the third is language teaching. Teaching pragmatics help language learners develop communicative competence, enabling them to use language appropriately in different social situations. And the last is natural language processing. In artificial intelligence, pragmatics is becoming increasingly important for developing computer systems that can understand and generate human-like languages. I think that's all for me. Thank you so much.